We are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace. Welcome to the Geekcentric Podcast. My name is Nate, and in this episode, we become bad batches and talk about the latest trailer for some questionable characters. We see an unhinged Crowe join in on some Love and Thunder, and we say, hello there, to a full cast for the next big Star Wars event. But first, if you're joining us for the first time, this is a weekly show covering the world of film, television, gaming, toys, and collectibles, and all things geek-centric. Joining me on the show, we have the jacked up, juice-filled, janky joke-totin' e-cig token jock without any justice, Justin.
Hello there.
Here to wreck shop and chop off your block, we have the killer of killers, the king crocodile of carnivorous creations, the kaiju crustacean himself, Kevin the Kong Crusher Hudson.
That all feels related to my size, and you know I'm uncomfortable about that.
How are you two badasses doing tonight?
Doing all right.
Fantastic. How are you?
Nice. I'm pumped. We got so many anti-heroes to talk about tonight.
Squad goals.
You know, we got squad goals. Where I like to think of us as kind of like the anti-heroes of our own geek world, don't you think?
There we go. We're the bad boys of toy collecting.
Yeah, but guys, we have had a lot to do since we haven't really gotten to talk about what from our last episode as we reviewed Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we've basically focused the entire podcast on that. So, guys, let's get right into it. Justin, whatcha?
Well, I feel like I don't have nearly as much whatcha as probably the both of you, so I'll probably fly through mine really quick. Finished 24. Finished the regular season, 8 seasons. I'm on this like 9th season, which it's in my mind it's not a complete season because it's not 24 episodes. It's actually 12 episodes. So I finished. It's a half day. Yeah, it's essentially a half day, but it's still called 24. So it's very frustrating.
Should have been called 12.
It should be called 12, yeah, or half day. You know what I mean, or half life, or something.
I don't know. Yeah,
it might not. They probably ran that through some like focus groups, and it just wasn't taking. So, but anyways, the 8-season run, which by all accounts the 8th season was supposed to be the last season, it just was solid, man. It owned itself. It played through all its tropes of being that sort of high octane spy thriller, conspiracy theory driven. Jack Bauer has earned his ranks as being a Ethan Hunt or a Bond or any of those very popular pop culture spy agents, if you will. MacGruber, if you could even compare on an opposite scale.
And without spoiling anything, Justin, was the ending everything you wanted it to be?
Yeah, like I remember when I had originally watched it, it felt very abrupt because they agreed that they were going to stop halfway through season 8. So they kind of ended it on a mark that it could be the end or they could come back. And it was emotional. It was an emotional ending. The last season really sees Jack become the thing that he's been fighting off the most, right? So without giving anything away. So he basically becomes the villain.
Interesting.
But you root for him in the end. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Speaking of anti-heroes, geez.
Yeah,
there you go.
There's our first. Other than that, I also got a chance to check out The Mighty Ducks Game Changer. Either of you guys check this out?
Oh, dude, of course.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so like I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I loved it. I actually like really enjoyed it, and I'm hooked. I'm like, let's go. I want to see.
You totally love the podcast kid.
Yeah. Nate would love the podcast kid. Yeah, Mitch the Sticks. What, is that his name? Yeah, Mitch the Sticks.
Sounds about right.
And he's hilarious, and just it reads a little bit like a Disney Channel-esque show.
Big time.
Gordon Bombay is like where he is, why he is the way he is. And, I don't know if this is really a spoiler, but he's very jaded. I'm interested to see how he got there.
Yeah, I don't get it. Sarah and I rewatched the trilogy in preparation.
Yeah.
And like he does not end on a note that would suggest he needs to all of a sudden hate kids and hate hockey.
Yeah, something definitely happened, and like he's just leaning really hard into that. Like at one point he says, "If I could, I'd have a sign that says I hate kids and no hockey," but it's very hard to find that sign.
Trust me, I've looked.
Yeah, trust me, I looked. So I thought it was great, but I know Kevin would appreciate that Maple Leafs kid that was featured in. How funny was that?
Little Willie Nylander, basically.
Yeah.
Had the flow and everything, man. Oh, yeah.
I love how he's like $900 skates. Guy doesn't know how to skate. What is this?
and correct me if I'm wrong, because I was listening to some other podcasters, shout out to the movie podcast, talking about this. They apparently they have a Canadian in a Mighty Ducks franchise for the first time, and he's awful. He's terrible.
Yeah, that might be true.
He sucks, and so I'm that's a little upsetting. But
and not just a Canadian, but a Toronto-born player. That just to really hammer that in,
like unreal. But Kevin, you and I are huge fans of Cobra Kai. Would you say that this holds a candle to Cobra Kai?
It's one episode, so I want to give it a little bit of time before I make an assessment on that. I can see it sort of pays a nice tribute to what it's based off of, and if that's all this is going to do, I'll be perfectly fine with that. I'm not expecting Emmy Awards coming out of this thing, but if it's a fun hockey show in the spirit of those Mighty Ducks movies, it's going to be very Cobra Kai in that regard. I'm going to have to watch the movies. I've never seen them. Do you think the third one's worth watching? Only because, it's the worst of the three, but it's part of the story, so why
it's
not?
Part of the story.
Like,
why not?
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
I'll
watch them.
The last thing I got a chance to check out was Invincible, Amazon Prime's latest animated show, superhero show, which, I watched the first episode today, and then I ended up watching the other two just before this podcast, so... it's great, man. The animation is solid. The storyline seems really like I'm intrigued. There's like a mystery that's going on. It has that boys vibe. The guy who did Walking Dead has done this, and it's funny because Steven Yeun is in it. He plays.
He's amazing.
Invincible.
I think there's 8 characters from The Walking Dead that voice roles throughout the show, at least as the series will go on.
You've also got Zazie Beetz. You've got Walton Goggins, Jillian Jacobs, Jason Mantzoukas, Seth Rogen, Sandra Oh is in it, and Mark Hamill's going to show up at some point. I will say I don't agree with you about the animation. I think the fight animation is phenomenal. I think as soon as they go to the talking moments, there's some work to be done, and I'm hoping that this is just the first season. This is how it looks, and that it progresses as it goes on. Because I didn't find the facial animations while they're talking to be that
but
great.
It reads to me like anime.
But it's not meant to be, though.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
but what is it meant to be? Like, I feel like it's
meant to. I guess it's meant to more look like the sort of the '90s Batman cartoons.
I don't think so.
That's kind of vibe that I was getting.
I don't think so. I feel like have you ever watched Cyber 6? To me, that's kind of the animation style that it reminds me of, where it's like the fight sequences and the choreography and all that stuff is done so well. And to me, that's what I speak of when I think of
that's
great.
The most important.
Of course,
yeah.
I don't care what they look like when they're just talking. Like again, they, it's not like
even
they
if
need
it's 3/4 of the episode.
Yeah, but I'm
it's
saying
kind
like
of integral.
But what can you really do with that other than like if it's in traditional 2D animation? It feels anime. It looks anime in its approach. Not just the fighting. If you strip the fighting and you look at like there's just like those talking scenes and stuff, it feels very anime inspired.
It looks as close to the comics as possible.
Now, obviously, we don't want to sort of spoil what was the climax of that first episode, so we won't get into detail. But other than that, did you honestly get boys vibes from this? This felt like PG boys. Like the dialogue was wooden. The characters were like sort of bland and uninspired.
And when I say boys vibe, I think it's the extreme violence that it's boys vibe. Maybe,
but there was none of that in that first fight scene. Like somebody could have gotten a bit more injured or something. Yeah. It was all to sort of make that twist very shocking.
Exactly.
Sure, but they almost lost me before that happened.
But I think you kind of when you continue into the second episode and even the third episode, we see Mark Grayson start to understand the realities of being a superhero. What he's seen on TV and what he's read in comic books is not what actually happens in his dad's day-to-day life. And so, I don't think it's a spoiler to say, like, people die. Like, people that's how it happens. You're even though you're a superhero, you're not going to save every single human being inside of that are being attacked by aliens. So I think from a boy's standpoint on that end, yes, the realism end kind of comes into play there. Of course, the violence and the the brutalness. But you're right. Like, I don't think the language is not really the same. But I do think, like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much to the comic books. There's like 3 omnibuses so far, or 4 omnibuses of collections of all of these comics. So we're only 3 episodes in. I really do think they're taking their time. They're taking their time with it. I like the pace that they've moved, because apparently it takes you a lot longer in the comics to get to the point at the end of episode 1. So the fact that they're moving at that pace, obviously they have to hook people in for the first series or first season. But I'm hoping that we get some more big moments out of it.
Yeah, because honestly, if it wasn't for that last 5 minutes, I don't think I'd be going back for episode 2. It, caught you off guard because of how everything was sort of building up before that. So if that was the intention, that's well done.
Mm-hmm. That's clearly what the intention was.
Yeah, I'm almost afraid to keep talking about it though, because I don't want to spoil things for people, because it is such a cool.
Yeah, we did
moment.
well. We'll just leave it there.
So that's my whatcha. It's a bit, like I said, it was light, but there was a lot to talk about. I'm glad you guys got to at least check out some of the things.
Very cool. All right, well, Kevin, I want to know whatcha. I know last week on the show, or after the show, you were like, "Oh man, this is going to be a huge whatcha for me." So what you been watching, dude?
Looking at my list here, it really isn't that extensive. But Sarah and I watched a show together, and then I watched one of my own over the last few weeks, and I'm excited to talk about both of them. I don't even know where to start. I'll start on this one because I know you've wanted to talk to me about it for a while.
Let's go, Kevin.
I took the plunge. I learned about the 4 elements, and I did Avatar: The Last Airbender, and
yes.
I was so pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed that show.
Let's
go! Unbelievable. Like,
right?
Like I was going to say, even as we were talking about Invincible, I'm like, animated shows just don't usually hook me, and especially one that, could almost, at first, I was like comparing it a little to Pokemon, and it's 3 kids on a bit of an adventure throughout this world. But the characters are so compelling and go through these character arcs and these journeys and experiences that aren't just your run-of-the-mill kids cartoon stuff. And I love so much about it. I really did just fall in love with this thing and ended up watching it over the course of like 6 days,
Oh,
and
Kevin,
that's getting 60 episodes. That's nuts.
I'm getting goosies right now. I'm getting goosies hearing you talk about this way, because honestly, it's my favorite animated television show of all time, and it's just it. And that's I think that's, you can see the excitement that I had when they announced that they were going to do an Avatar studio. And that they're going to continue with it. Do you think you're going to dive into Korra, perchance? Or have you already?
I checked out the first 5 minutes just because I wanted to sort of because I figured they would give you a little bit of a rundown on what was going on. I was kind of surprised to see how it was a continuation of the show. That wasn't really what I was expecting, to be set so far in the future without these characters that you loved so much. And so that might almost be my biggest issue, is sitting there wishing that I could see these characters that I want to see more of an adventure with. And so I think I'll be better suited to watch if they continue sort of that journey, with future projects. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get into Korra. If I don't get my APA, what's the point of living?
Point? I was going to say, are you a Momo or an Appa stan?
I'm an Appa guy. I'm an Appa stan.
Let's go.
Big time.
Okay,
I love him. Sokka could either be the most annoying character on the screen or the funnest to watch.
Yes, he kind of he transitions from annoying to fun, kind of.
Yeah, and you get really behind him and everything like that. But my ultimate favorite character, 100%, is Uncle.
Oh, Uncle Iroh
is so good, super underutilized in season 3, and I think I understand why. With the passing of the actor that played him, they sort of chose to limit the role rather than maybe doing a disservice to the amazing work that Mako did over those first 2 seasons. But and even just like some of because I didn't realize this isn't like a traditional anime at all. This is a North American anime.
Yeah.
And so it's funny that Darcy is a huge anime fan and hates Avatar. So he's definitely, he's a more traditional Japanese anime fan versus this North Americanized sort of version of it. And I think I've never liked anime but loved this, and so I think that the sort of similarities or disparities there between our two likes and the fact
just
that
like the show, Kevin, balance, right? Balance is everything. So
there you go. But the voice acting, like you got Mark Hamill in there. I love Mae Whitman; she's a main character. And then you just even get like smaller bit roles from just actors that you'd recognize if you saw their Clancy Brown and guys like that, and they do such great work. And all these characters they interact with are just, even if it's for one episode and they're the village weirdo, they're just such fun characters. The Swamp People, that episode was amazing. Like just those second and third characters that pop up here and there are so much fun.
And I mean, you kind of messaged me and you were getting frustrated about Zuko and his journey. I mean, Dante Bosco, right? You got Rufio himself, right? Instantly recognizable with that voice. And just the transition that character goes through is so good.
Yeah, definitely. But the other big thing that I watched is quite tonally different, but had been recommended to both Sarah and I by so many people whose opinions we trust for years, and obviously won, I think, 11 Emmys. So I'm talking about Watchmen. What a journey that was. Man, I was like, I didn't think I was going to get into it after that first episode. I tried watching it when it first came out and was like, I don't get what's going on here. And you really don't for like 4 or 5 or 6 episodes.
I still don't.
Like I went back and halfway through rewatched the movie and then was looking up, because I read the book at one point too. And so it was like, so this is based off the book, but watching the movie helps you sort of refamiliarize yourself with characters. And then you find out who these people are. Like, just so good. So Jeremy Irons is so fun. His character is incredible. There's obviously a big reveal that I had spoiled for me, unfortunately. There's obviously a huge twist in about the 7th or 8th episode there. And like even Sarah was like, oh, wow, when you do find out who he is, So I wish I hadn't had that spoiled for me a year ago, but it was still pretty incredible, and that penultimate episode is one of the best I've ever seen.
So well done. That is, I agree with you, Kevin, and I think I said that on the podcast before. The second last episode of Watchmen is probably the best episode of television that I've ever watched, and I'm not saying Watchmen's my favorite show, but that one episode is immaculate.
For what it means for the whole series and just how well it's handled and everything. Yeah, that show was... It was worth all the hype.
Yeah, it was the equivalent to what I think you were comparing it to WandaVision, the penultimate episode of WandaVision. It brings everything together, right? Like after being invested in the show for as many episodes and asking questions, that episode just served it all up and really set you up for that finale. So yeah, it is probably one of the best examples of television.
It was phenomenal. But yeah, that's it for me in terms of big stuff. How about you, Nate? What you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, listen, of course, we've been continuing to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Of course, if our listeners don't know already, we have our watch club for it every single week. We were sad to miss our big Kev sauce on the last week's episode, but we did get Mr. Mitch George of the Press YYZ podcast to fill in the space, and I think he did a pretty good job. But also, I did get a chance to finish Superstore. So they wrapped up the whole series, and the ending was all right. It kind of felt rushed, given that they wrapped up everything into one episode. I feel like they could have done it over like 3 or 4 episodes to give a more satisfying. When you've only got 20 minutes per episode, and you've got all these really great characters, in my opinion. I know, Kevin, you weren't as big of a fan, but when you've got these really great characters that have their storylines, to kind of just quickly wrap them up in like one scene or like with a sentence of dialogue was a little bit disappointing. So it was good. I didn't cry, though, so it couldn't have been that good. Of course, I did watch Invincible, as I was saying, as I chimed in with Justin's Watcha, and then... The Last Blockbuster, I got a chance to watch, which is a documentary on Netflix. It was lovely. Hosted by Clerk star himself, Kevin Smith. It's insane to see, this little blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, stay afloat. The documentary just shows like it's a family and community run business, and it's run by this really incredible mom. Her name is Sandy Harding. And she literally does everything she can to make her customers happy. Like, to the point where she goes out to local Best Buys and Walmarts and buys copies of the new releases to put on the shelves for people to rent. Or, like, if there's a movie that you want that she doesn't have, she'll go on Amazon, buy it, and then you can rent it. She makes beanies. She makes custom merch. She buys
It's not a Blockbuster.
It's like a mom and pop shop with the Blockbuster branding, and it's so cool to see how it's still open. And honestly, as soon as this pandemic allows for traveling, I'm going to Bend, Oregon, and we're going to take a trip, all of us, and we need to go see this Blockbuster in person, because that is so cool.
Isn't it an Airbnb now?
Well, they did do, yes, Kevin, to your point, they did do a competition where you could stay a night in the last Blockbuster on Earth, and I think that's since passed, and I think happened, luckily, before the coronavirus situation, or as just before it got really bad. But dude, the irony of this showing up on Netflix is not lost in the documentary, because they constantly call it out. They constantly talk about it, and even the president who used to be the president of Blockbuster, he's on the documentary saying, like, you know what, it really wasn't Netflix that killed Blockbuster. But instead of telling you what killed Blockbuster, I'm going to let you watch that documentary so you can support them. Please go check it out. And I'm currently scouring the internet. If any of our listeners know how to reach out to this Blockbuster and get some of the custom merch that's made there, or even get a Blockbuster card. They have the laminated cards, guys, that you can get that say the last Blockbuster on them. You still have one? Oh, Justin, that's so cool. I never got one. I wasn't old enough.
Wow.
Oh, man. Just craziness. Definitely, if you're listening, please go check that out and find a way to support the last Blockbuster in the world, because they're a dying breed. So, guys, speaking of dying breeds, I think we should get into the news, which has nothing to do with dying breeds of anything. But let's get into the news.
It's all about the details.
All right, guys. So just two quick stories related to casting have come up in the past few days here. Starting with this first one here, Russell Crowe joins Thor, Love and Thunder. This in a report from Aaron Couch and Boris Kitt from The Hollywood Reporter. The actor is stepping into a mystery role. Oscar-winning actor Russell Crowe is down under to appear in Thor, Love and Thunder. Crowe is expected to play a small role in Taika Waititi's film. I mean, that's how they wrote it, guys. I just did the accent. The actor's involvement was first suspected when photos surfaced over the weekend of him in Australia with the cast of the Marvel Studios film. Marvel could not be reached for comment. Waititi previously included some stunt castings in 2017's Thor Ragnarok, when a play within the film included Matt Damon as Loki, Chris Hemsworth's older brother Luke Hemsworth as Thor, and Sam Neill as Odin. Thor Love and Thunder is going to be coming out in 2022, and of course it's going to star Natalie Portman, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Natalie Portman reprising her role of Jane Foster, who is probably going to become Thor, Tessa Thompson returning as Valkyrie. We got Christian Bale coming to the MCU, which I'm so stoked for. More than Russell Crowe coming as Gore the God Butcher. And even some stars from Guardians of the Galaxy, such as Chris Pratt, are in the mix. Crowe won an Oscar, of course, for 2000's Gladiator, and last appeared on the big screen in probably one of the best movies he's ever done. No, I'm joking. It's called Unhinged. Is that it? Yeah, it's a road rage thriller, Unhinged.
Have you not watched
that
guys,
one? No. Did you?
I did.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not going to watch it. I'll probably become unhinged if I watch it. Guys, so who is this unhinged man going to be? Do you think with the report of him being in a smaller role that this might be more Waititi stunt casting? Or do you think that this may be an introduction to a bigger character that we'll see in future MCU projects? Justin?
I'd love if it's Beta Ray Bill. Like I was reading that online. Like,
oh wow,
what if he is cameoing as Beta Ray Bill?
Would he be? I guess that would be CGI, right? Because he wouldn't have.
Yeah, it'd be
Russell Crowe's face.
I'm sure they would do a Josh Brolin
mocap?
Thanos, like a mocap sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a horse Thor, so it'd be really tough to sort of carry those mannerisms over. But that's definitely my first choice, and it plays into not only, you know, some stunt casting, right? It's a fun character that's very Taika Waititi, I think, right?
True.
You know, this horse Thor, and I don't know if he has this large overarching role to play or if he should just make a quick appearance. We know he's out there, but we don't have to see too much of him. You know, that almost works better for that character.
See, I was thinking of maybe him being a villain, and I think you could either go stunt casting with this or not. So you could either have the character show up with his son, and have it just be a quick like joke between, you know, having the father and son dynamic show up, or you could have him be an actual character. And I was thinking maybe he comes in as Zeus. And then we also get Hercules, right? And we have them come in, and then you see like Zeus and Hercules, like kind of like it's like a dad and son off almost, right? Between them. I don't know. I think that could be really, really interesting. And I think he fits the physique maybe. Well, maybe not the upper body physique, but the largeness physique, at least right now.
I also think, though, that it's interesting, like the idea that there's stunt casting, because like I think I was reading that, what's her name? Melissa McCarthy and her husband are going to be in the movie, and they were like, you know, on Instagram and Twitter.
Really?
Telling Taika Waititi, you know, they want to be in the movie. And there were reports that Melissa McCarthy was seen on set with a Hela costume, so she's going to be playing.
So like, it's another play.
She's going to play that.
It's another play. Yeah.
Which is going to be.
I mean, that would be fantastic.
I want to see this 10% less now than I did before.
Melissa McCarthy is great.
No.
Is Matt Damon apparently coming back too? I've heard that, right? So I could definitely see them doing the play again then, right?
Maybe it's like a part 2 or something, or maybe that's how the movie starts or something.
Yeah, I think it was a really great joke that everyone acknowledged and called out from his version, and I think that he would be foolish not to give it some sort of cameo or appearance in this movie at some point, and really finding a place for it. Them telling the story about Ragnarok, right, and like, you know, the fall of Asgard, right? So, you know, it'll be interesting if he's part of this whole play scenario. He could be Surtur is his name.
Surtur.
Yeah. With the big horns from Ragnarok. Like if they're going to do the play, he might be that. If Melissa McCarthy's in it as well, like could
now,
be a really
do they light
nice
him
place.
On fire? Do they actually light him on fire?
No, it'd be funny though, based on the play, if they paint him red and he's just like, he's burly, right? Like he's like, "Rugh." But then they like added like paper flames or something like that, or and he's like really like
somebody's holding a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would be gorgeous. Oh, very cool. All right, well, only time will tell to see who the big Crowe portrays. But guys, let's move on to our next story and say hello there. Star Wars confirms Obi-Wan Kenobi cast as production almost begins. This from Ben Travis from Empire Online, who writes, "For years, Star Wars fans have been waiting for Ewan McGregor to pop up and say, 'Hello there' to the galaxy far, far away again. And he's just about to do that because the much-anticipated Obi-Wan Kenobi series is officially a go. A special event series coming to Disney Plus that delves into the years between Obi-Wan's fateful battle against a pre-Vader Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith, and his encounters with Luke Skywalker in A New Hope. Disney has confirmed that the show is more or less ready to roll, stating production begins soon. And it's just announced some pretty fantastic casting to boot. It's been long known that McGregor would be back, and last year we did learn that the prequel trilogy's Hayden Christensen will also be returning to play Vader. But alongside them is Joel Edgerton, Bonnie Piesse have now been confirmed as well. We got Kumail Nanjiani, we got O'Shea Jackson Jr., Indira Varma, we got Benny Safdie of Uncut Gems. And he's also one of the Safdie brothers, which is, I didn't know they acted. We've also got Sung Kang, who has played Han Solo in the Fast and Furious films.
Man.
Justin,
Han.
The unsung hero of the Fast and Furious movies.
We also have Moses Ingram, who recently appeared in The Queen's Gambit. I thought she was fantastic in that. We have Rupert Friend, and we have Simone Kessel. Stay tuned for info on whether she'll have a walk-on role or if we'll see Kessel run. Listen, guys, listen. That's in the actual news report. Okay, that's not on me. Okay, blame Ben Travis for that one. This is easily one of the most exciting Star Wars projects currently in the works, and it has recurring Mandalorian director Deborah Chow behind the camera. Yeah. We'll see what they manage to cook up when this show arrives in 2022. So, guys, what do you think of the cast, and any ideas on who some of them might be?
Well, I would love to see Indira Varma play Satine, Bo-Katan's sister.
Wow.
I think like as like a flashback, his love interest that, right? If you give her blonde hair.
That would really work,
Give her blonde hair. She's got that look, right? So it'd be pretty crazy. And then I think Kumali, he's going to be a friggin' droid. For sure.
Yes, he's got to be, right?
A droid
he's a comedy
makes sense,
character.
yeah.
Maybe he's like a scruffy, like mechanic or bounty hunter type character, or I don't know. I could see them going a few ways with him. But like, good for Kumail Nanjiani. Are you kidding me? Like this guy, freaking, he makes it into the MCU almost, and now he's in a freaking Star Wars project. Like this guy's on fire. Rupert Friend. Oh my gosh! If you look at the images that they tweeted out, like Rupert Friend, if he's not playing some sort of like admiral.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
for the Emperor, like for the Empire, like he's just, come on.
Who's Joel Edgerton going to be?
So Joel Edgerton and Bonnie Piesse are probably going to reprise their role as Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, right?
Yeah,
that's who they played at the in episode 3.
Oh,
which makes a lot of sense. But so does this mean we're going to get a young Luke running around the moisture fields of Tatooine? I'm most excited to hear that it's like a special event series. There's going to be a start and finish plan for this. It's going to tell a story, and that's all it should. I don't need 5 seasons of this. I don't even need 2 or 3. I think a nice, concise, well-told 8-episode story would just be fantastic and make it that much more. I mean, because we know where it's all going to end up. And so, tell me an interesting story, but don't prolong it too much.
Is it 8? Do they know how long the episode runs?
No, I was saying, for instance.
Okay, yeah. I heard it was 4. I heard it was a 4-episode thing, but
they're longer. I would assume, right?
Well, of course.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, you could hit like 55 minutes maybe on an episode or whatever if you're going to do that. Or else why not just do a movie, right?
Yeah,
right.
So.
But it'll be interesting to see, like, I mean, it's cool that they're showing this casting. I feel like, I feel like a lot of these people might have to be like one-off situations, right? Like, we've kind of gotten the ability to see some of the characters return in Mandalorian season 2, but in season 1, a lot of those actors that we were excited about only showed up for 1 episode. So like if Indira Varma is Satine, right, Duchess Satine, and she's back for like a flashback, episode, then sure, and then after that, that's it.
Well, and like, Hayden's not going to be in it much because, Obi-Wan and Darth don't see each other between Mustafar and the Death Star, so they're not going to run into each other, right?
Don't they, though?
But that's what they've set this show up, is that there's the epic rematch.
So they're going to change the entire canon about what he's referring to when he says, I feel a presence I have not felt since.
He's an old man that was out in the desert for a long time, Kevin, okay? He forgot a lot of things. He didn't even remember the droids, okay?
Wasn't it Kathleen Kennedy who said, like, with an epic rematch? Like,
yes, in the Disney
we talked about
Day.
it with I think Darcy, and we were saying, like, what if it's not like a physical rematch, like it's a meditation thing, right? Like they meditate to a state
and they
where
see
they
each other.
and they
That
see
way
each
you
other.
could still show Hayden's face, because you see him how Ben wants to see.
That's exactly
him,
it.
Right?
Why would you bring back Hayden Christensen only to put him in a Darth Vader suit, right? Like it doesn't make sense to do that, right? So if you're bringing back Hayden Christensen, he's going to be playing Anakin Skywalker.
That's a good question, because did they bring Hayden back to do Rogue One, or did somebody else play? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. What is the point? Because it's not like he'd be voicing the character.
Exactly. What's the point? Oh, so he's under the suit? Bravo. You know what I mean? You put him in the costume. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
even Pedro Pascal is like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. They don't want to see your face or hear your voice. They just want you to act.
Oh, man. All right. Well, guys, that is it for casting news. Of course, guys, if you want to reach out to us and let us know anything, what you think about Russell Crowe, maybe even joining Star Wars one day, who knows? Please write into the show. Of course, you don't have to take years and years of lessons from Yoda to learn how to force meditate your way into our brains and thoughts. You just have to email us. Justin, where can the listeners let us know what their thoughts are?
They can reach us at wearegeekcentric@gmail.com. That's wearegeekcentric@gmail.com.
That is the email you're looking for.
Yes.
Anyways, guys, let's get into some trailers.
It's trailer time.
All right. Let's get to this first trailer here, guys, which is for Rick and Morty Season 5, created by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, starring Justin Roiland, Dan Harmon, Chris Parnell, Spencer Grammer, Sarah Chalk, and Carrie Walgreen. We don't have a synopsis yet for season 5, but they just dropped the trailer, I think literally today as us record this.
Hours ago, yeah.
Yes. As I record, I don't know, I'm becoming another character from Rick and Morty. Oh my gosh. This looks like another crazy season. Did you guys get a chance to watch the trailer?
Oh, you know it, man. You know it. I got the message and was like, oh, I hope we can fit this into the program because I had no idea this was coming.
It seems soon, doesn't it?
Oh, well, when have they ever had another season within about a year of one finishing? I thought we were going to have to wait years for this to come back. So that I was, as good as it was, I was just more excited to see Rick and Morty. And then watched it and it was like, yep, there's going to be just, so I just can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm stoked. I mean, it looks at one point we see like a young Jerry in the ship with Rick and Summer, or not with Morty and Summer, and like maybe Summer has like the hots for this guy that turns out to be her dad, so very like Back to the Future-esque, right? Like, and I also like seeing them continue with the themes of like multiverse, just as like the whole world starts to become more comfortable with multiverses in the MCU. So be it in the Rick and Morty cinematic universe, right?
Are we Blades in that one? Dope. Amazing.
I love that, right? Like when they're walking by those crystals, and then there's the Blade characters, and then if you look in the background in that scene, there's another crystal, and it's got a video of the Real Adventure of Doc and Marty, which is the all Australian bushcraft version. Have you guys ever watched this?
That is a trip and a half. Oh,
dude, it's so trippy. It's insane. But the fact that it's in that crystal there means that it's technically in canon, which is so cool. And I don't know. I'm so excited. I hope we do get Mr. Poopy Butthole back, because there's a character in there that looks like Mr. Poopy Butthole, but I think it's a new character named Gluttony. Which is going to be interesting. He's like a little fat guy, but like the Voltron moment, or the reference to Jurassic Park with the hologram that pops up. I was just like, I'm like, you know what? I don't care if this is conventional Rick and Morty, because even conventional Rick and Morty is hilarious. So I am so stoked. And that actually comes out June 20th to Adult Swim and supposedly HBO Max, where the first 4 seasons are already streaming, so you can catch up. But guys, I like to think of us, as I mentioned, as the anti-heroes of our crew, of our geek world. I also think of us as a pretty bad batch. And speaking of the Bad Batch, guys, Star Wars, The Bad Batch, we got the second trailer, the official full trailer for Star Wars, The Bad Batch. Of course, this is produced by Dave Filoni, with Brad Rouse serving as supervising director and Jennifer Corbett Corbett as head writer for the series. Of course, this stars D. Bradley Baker, Ming-Na Wen. We got Andrew Kishino and Stephen Stanton as Admiral Tarkin. Of course, The Bad Batch follows a group of elite and experimental clones as they make their way through an ever-changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone War. Guys, I mean, I was hyped after the first trailer. What did you guys think of this pretty amazing looking cinematic trailer that we got?
I'm excited to see like this part of the Star Wars universe, like what happens during, or I guess after, Order 66.
Yeah, because this is, I mean, we're gonna see the introduction of the stormtroopers, right? And we're gonna see clone troopers fighting stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Like let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I'm just interested to see how kind of like the rise, right? Like a little bit more of that, like, they've eliminated all the Jedi. What happened between that period of time where Revenge of the Sith ends and A New Hope begins, right? Like we know what happens to a certain degree, and I know Rebels kind of deals with that a little bit. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they come into contact with any of the Rebels characters, right? Like
I mean, this trailer confirmed it, right? Like so not only did we get to see Ming-Na Wen's Fennec Shan, right? An earlier version of her compared to, she's much younger than when she obviously appears in The Mandalorian. We also get Canadian voice actor Andrew Kishino, who's back as a slightly older but not old version of Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We see. Yeah. Right, hand one of the pistols over to the Bad Batch. So I just think it looks fantastic. They're using the Clone Wars Season 7 animation and budget, and I'm so happy for it.
Yeah, because that was a successful season, like by all accounts. Obviously, that's kind of what pushed this series to be, greenlit, right? Is closing out that the Clone Wars, right? So that's...
And Kevin, I know you're not as big of a fan of the animated Star Wars content. What did you think of this trailer?
No, I think it looks really good for what it is. And I think it'll appeal to a very small niche pocket of Star Wars fans who, sort of gone down the Clone Wars journey and like that sort of era in Star Wars. I don't know. I think it looks good for what it is, but it doesn't look like it's my cup of tea, I don't think.
Right now, I'm kind of feeling the opposite way, Kevin. Like I'm so stoked for the Obi-Wan situation, but I honestly really love these when they get these new characters in these settings and situations that are happening that are maybe further removed from the Skywalkers. We've gotten so much of the Skywalkers, and we've gotten, we've gotten quite a bit of Obi-Wan throughout the Clone Wars and things like that. So getting to see these guys, these new characters that came on in season 7 and just honestly dominated the internet with just the characterizations that they are. But yes, that comes out on Disney Plus with a 70-minute premiere episode on May the 4th be with you. So super stoked for that. If we're going to record any content, maybe it'll be a really long one. I don't know. But guys, from one Bad Batch to another, let's talk about this latest trailer, or this newest trailer or the only trailer for Suicide Squad, directed and written by James Gunn, with influences from original comics writer John Ostrander. Of course, this stars get ready for this. Margot Robbie, Joel Kinnaman, Idris Elba, John Cena, Michael Rooker, Viola Davis, Pete Davidson, Nathan Fillion, Jai Courtney, Michaela Hoover, Alice Braga, David Dastmalchian, Taika Waititi, Flula Borg, Sean Gunn, and of course, Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. Of course, this is a group of supervillains, Harley Quinn, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, and a collection of nutty cons at Belle Reve Prison that join the super secret shady Task Force X as they are dropped off at the remote enemy-infused island of Corto Maltese. Kevin, dude, what did this trailer do for you, my friend?
It did a lot for me, actually.
Right?
I don't think it was going to be hard to even make a trailer that was better than all of that original movie back in, what was it, 2015? Is it that long ago now?
I don't even care.
2016, But this is, different levels. This is a different tier of entertainment by the looks of it. Got super strong Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. The horrible, twisted mind, as it even said in the trailer there. You can see James Gunn fingerprints all over it. I'm curious to see how they fit all these people in. I think I have a theory about what's kind of going to go on with that. John Cena keeps impressing me. He's just got such great comedic chops. I think he's honestly just naturally funnier than The Rock, and I know a lot of people might disagree with me. Rock's got all the charisma on the planet, but I just don't think he's ever evolved as an actor, whereas I think John Cena's he's so good in these comedic roles. I'm most excited for him, I think. So
and you see him in that he's got that stupid helmet on, and then that one moment where he's like sitting up in some sort of like clock tower and he's got his shorts on. Like, what? Justin, what are your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I feel like looks like a lot of fun. It looks colorful. It again, very James Gunn. It seems to incorporate popular music into it to kind of fuse that sort of thing. Again, something that they tried to do with the original Suicide Squad, but just came off as a really bad version of a James Gunn movie. It's just nice to see that James Gunn is now going to have his hands in this property and actually do this movie some justice. So it looks good.
The music in the trailer, to your point, Justin, it's got me stoked. Like, are we going to get maybe something? I don't think we can get anything that lives up to it, but something close to a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque soundtrack, right?
Of course,
with some of the songs that they have a chance to play with, right?
He says that
he's so good with that stuff.
He's gone on the record of saying that in many cases he comes up with the songs before, right? So he already, because the songs will guide a sort of mood or tone, or it shapes something in his head. So he'll always devise that. So I feel like we'll have a Suicide Squad soundtrack, because that will be our ability to understand the sort of the popular music context of what influenced the ideas for this movie, right? So I'm excited. It looks cool.
Absolutely. I'm so stoked. And James Gunn was definitely the right choice for this. Kevin, you mentioned you had a theory, and I also have a theory, but I think we have the same theory. So I would love to know, what is your theory as to why are they focusing on just maybe a select group of this cast in this trailer?
I think there's the one scene where you sort of see these characters sort of walking into frame together. But you don't really see them ever again in the trailer. It focuses on a second group of soldiers, if you will. And so I think we're going to open up on a mission with some of these other characters, your Pete Davidsons, and
your Flula Borg.
Yes, yeah. And they'll have a quick moment to shine. They'll have a good one-liner joke. Something's going to go wrong with that mission. I think Harley Quinn's going to be with them. The mission's going to go wrong. They're all going to die. And then that's why the second team has to come in to save Harley as they're on their way to go fight the giant starfish. Like, if anybody can make a bad guy like that work, like...
Right, and, like, it's funny because you see Harley, you even see her holding Javelin Man's javelin throughout the trailer, throughout the second half of the trailer. As soon as you see her, she's got it. So, obviously, he doesn't need it at some point because, obviously, he's dead, right?
Exactly.
And so I think even in the posters, a lot of the posters that you read, on the bottom, the tagline is, "Don't get too attached." And I think that has something to do with both them dying, but also Nathan Fillion's character, who's going to be playing a character, I can't remember his name, but his arm removal guy or something like that. Like, he's based off an actual comic book character that can remove his limbs or something. So really, really cool. And guys, Starro at the end. We got to talk about Starro. I mean, are we going to see a giant army of baby Starros all over the world? Because, like, honestly, I'd love them to go. We were just talking about Rick and Morty. I'd love them to go full Rick and Morty with it and show like an entire country overtaken with Starros, just Starros on everyone's face, and they're just going about their daily lives. Like, you see a news program, and they're just Starros, like, all in service of Starro. I don't know. I think that
he could do that.
Really fun.
I don't think that's too far fetched, man. Like, if you've seen Slither, dude. Yeah. He could go there. He could totally go there with that, and that concept would totally work. So I think that's totally.
Were you guys
possible.
shocked to see a giant starfish show up in this trailer?
No, I mean,
Given
there's
the
nothing's going to be wild or too crazy. I think in this movie, just brace yourself for batshit crazy. I think is going to be the whole theme of this one. So, and I mean, you can make Joel Kinnaman's Rick Flag look good. That whole the whole first movie couldn't do that, and that trailer did it in 10 seconds of screen time. So I'm jacked.
Yeah, that's coming out in theaters and on streaming on HBO Max on August 6th. Hopefully we get it in Canada. Please, HBO, figure that out. All right, guys. Well, that is it for trailer time. Let's dive into our topic of the show. It's time for the topic of the show. All right, guys, so for today's topic of the show, we've been talking about so many superheroes and anti-heroes and superheroes with our watch clubs for WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as well as our review for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And with us just discussing this new Suicide Squad trailer, I thought it would be fun to test your knowledge on the reality of some of the strangest characters to show up in Marvel or DC Comics history with another round of...
Fake or real? What's the deal?
So, guys, I'm going to name 15 Marvel or DC characters, and you have to tell me whether or not you think they are fake or real. I'll reveal their name and maybe a little bit about them, including like their abilities, but that's it. You have to decide if it's something from, Marvel, DC, or me. So, guys, you good to go? Are we ready to get started?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, guys, get ready. These are some of these are a little more involved, and some of them are maybe a little less involved, and we'll see what you think of that. Perfect. All right, ready? For our first character, we have 3D Man. Formed by his brother, focusing really hard through the lens of his glasses, this hero has 3 times the strength and 3 times the speed of normal humans. Fake or real? Fake or real? 3D Man.
See, I'm going to say fake to that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That one almost seems too plausible.
Too plausible. All right. Okay. We're going with fake from Justin and Kevin, both saying fake. Okay. The next one here. we have Pig Plummet. This villainous character was tending to his farm when radiation rain caused his cells to merge with pigs. He now uses his massive strength and size to crush his enemies using deadly belly flops. Guys, is Pig Plummet fake or real?
Well, yeah, real. Although I think that was a Power Rangers bad guy, if anything.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
All right, both saying real there. Justin saying real, Kevin saying real. Our third superhero, or villain, who knows, D-Man. D-Man was a normal man who, despite being a promising athlete, chose to undergo augmentation from the power broker, finding himself too strong for conventional sports. He entered the Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation. Guys, is D-Man real or fake? Fake or real?
See, once you start bringing in characters like Power Broker, now how can I say anything but real?
Okay, both going with real for D-Man.
Also, I was getting some serious It's Always Sunny vibes there.
Yeah.
D-Man.
Amazing. Okay, guys, this next character here is the Badger, a Vietnam War veteran who suffered from multiple personality disorder. One of the personalities that inhabited his body was a character named the Badger, who could talk to animals. Supposedly, he had a drug-induced vision where he saw God appear to him as a badger. Is this fake or real? Justin going with real. Kevin going with fake. Ooh, okay. We got a split here.
He's confident in that one.
I'm
not confident in any of these. I'm just literally crapshooting, man. I'm like rolling the dice.
Suicide Squad's giving us Weasel. The Badger's a fake one, I think.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Our next character here is Cold Kitty. After witnessing the accidental death of her mother at the hands of her father, she decides to move to the South Pole to live out the rest of her days working at a local pet store by day and wearing a white cat costume fighting domestic abuse by night. She's pretty much just a white costume version of Catwoman. Is she fake or real? Cold Kitty. Justin is going with real. Kevin is going with real.
I've been real for too much, so one of those has got to be fake. But I feel like that's so in depth that you wouldn't have actually made that up. If you did, I can't wait to find out.
All right, our next character, the Whizzer. As a child, when he was traveling with his father, he was bitten by a poisonous cobra. His father decided to use mongoose blood as an anti-venom for the bite. And once the anti-venom was applied, he was able to run at superhuman speeds. Is the Whizzer fake or real? The Whizzer. Kevin going with real. Justin coming in with fake.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of the Whizzer. And it's
the Whizzer.
Is he just running real fast because he's got to find a washroom? I think I've heard of the Whizzer.
Okay. I like that explanation. That's much better than mongoose blood.
Are mongoose fast?
I don't think so. I don't think they are.
Like, I think they're vicious, but fast? I don't know.
All right, guys. We're going to go to this next one here. The Black Condor. Of course, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, in the last episode, we got that kid calling him the Black Falcon. Now we've got the Black Condor, raised by an actual condor. He learned how to fly simply by flapping his arms. He failed several times until one day he was able to fly. Is this fake or real?
Fucking fake.
Justin is going with fake. Kevin is going with fake. Okay. All right.
I think there's a lot of the black something characters. I don't think this one, raised by an actual bird, is the one.
We'll have to wait and see. Next up, we have Kid Man. Once as powerful as a bodybuilder, this incredible athlete/doctor is abducted by aliens one fateful night. Upon waking up in his childhood room, he discovers that he now only possesses the strength of a small child. Is he fake or real? Kid Man. Is Kid Man fake or real? All right, Justin is saying real.
I'll give you a real on
Kevin.
that.
Kevin is saying fake. All right, interesting.
I feel like
all right, guys.
I'm already losing, so at this point I might just mini mo it.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, listen, with a lot of these, it's nobody knows these characters, and maybe that's because they're all fake. Or they're all real.
He's pulling one of those.
Oh, who knows? Who knows?
I just think there's so many bad comic book characters out there that like you can't apply logic to this. All of them literally could be real.
They could. All right, this next character, guys, we've got Social Medusa. An archaeologist becomes popular on social media and decides to unearth an ancient gem hidden deep under a Greek temple while streaming for her millions of followers. Once she discovers the gem, she's transformed into the snake-haired Medusa with the power to turn anyone who looks at her posts on social media into stone. Is this fake or real?
No, there's got to be a Medusa, but that's not. No.
Justin is saying real. Kevin is saying fake. Okay, all right. Interesting. Okay, guys. So this is Ice Cream. Like, I Scream. The mutant supervillain Ice Cream has the ability to turn into any flavor of ice cream he wants. His biggest foes include the sun, hungry babies, and lactose-free diets. Ice Cream. Justin going with fake. Okay.
I hate that I've put so many fake in a row now because that one is definitely fake.
Dude, I've put so many reels in a row that I'm like, I gotta balance it out here.
Kevin thinks it's fake. Okay,
watch us,
all right.
watch us only get like 3 or 4 right.
Just I by can see it happening.
Yeah. Next up, we have Matter Eater Lad. Matter Eater Lad. He hails from the planet Bismol, like Pepto-Bismol, where microbes have rendered all food on his planet inedible. In order to survive, the population evolved to be able to ingest any type of matter. So, his power is that he can eat anything that's normally inedible. Guys, is Matter Eater Lad real or fake? Kevin is going with real. We're both going with real on Matter Eater Lad.
I think I read that comic, actually.
Really?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. I was going to say. Okay, all right. This next one, guys, Peppermint Man. Originally a candy shop owner, Peppermint Man wears a red and white striped suit and stays cool by using his ability to lower the temperature of any given space with his minty fresh breath. Is Peppermint Man real or fake?
I really hope he's friggin' fake.
Justin's going with fake. Kevin's going with real. On the Peppermint Man.
I've lost all grasp of reality now.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
And again, guys, for those who are listening, please, hopefully you're keeping up with your scores as well. Feel free to write in the show to wearegeekcentric@gmail.com with your scores. Guys, this next one here, Kid Eternity. He was a regular kid who died before his time. His life ended in a boating accident, but due to a cosmic mishap, it was determined that he should have lived another 70 years, and was therefore restored back to life and given a variety of powers by way of compensation. Sworn to do good in the world, he could summon any historical or mythological being to help him in his tasks, and could also make himself invisible. Is it fake or real? Kid Eternity. Okay, Kevin going with real, Justin going with fake.
I have a good feeling about that one being real. I just love how, with all of that backstory, also he could be invisible. Like, just
throw that in there. Throw that in there. He's a kid who died in a boating accident. He's supposed to live 70 years later. All right, guys. We got 2 more left. Here we go. Danny the Street. Danny the Street is a thinking piece of pavement, like an actual roadway with thoughts. Danny can integrate himself into the geography of any city without people noticing, and he speaks through window signs of shops that line his body. Also, he's a transvestite. Danny the Street. Justin is saying fake. Kevin is saying upside down fake. Okay.
If that one's
all right,
real,
guys. Yeah. We'll have to see, my friend.
Then
we'll have to
everything
see, guys.
is wrong. I like just done.
All right, now this last one here, guys. You're gonna have to really think. Am I throwing you off, or is this, what's going on here? My last character's name is Conclusion. A depressed comic book writer attempts to end his own life when he is stopped by Loki and gifted a magical book that gives him the ability to end any ongoing story he sees in front of him, except for his own. Conclusion. Is Conclusion fake or real? Justin's going with real. Kevin is going with real. Okay.
All right, I want to know some
Now you're
answers.
name dropping people we know. That's making it real tricky. It's actually an okay premise, that one.
Yeah, I
Right?
like that one, yeah.
I love that one. But guys, let's talk about
That's
whether or
fake.
not those are fake or real.
The only reason you'd love
Starting-
that is because you come up with it. Come on.
Yeah. All right, guys, really quickly, I won't go through the ability, I won't take too long to go through the abilities, but just to remind our listeners, 3D man, formed by his brother, focusing really hard through the lens of his glasses. He has 3 times the strength and 3 times the speed of normal humans. Justin, you said fake. Kevin, you said fake. 3D man is real, dude. Damn. He's a real Marvel character from the 70s. It's a man wearing 3D glasses, and he's red and blue. It's just
I feel like
awful.
I feel like I have seen that.
Right?
That's like
3D
right
man?
when the fad of 3D was like really hitting, like, you know, like you got those glasses and you could see like those pages in the comics,
in the
and
comic
stuff
books.
like that.
Yeah,
so
maybe they
it's a
did
way-
it to
it's a
sell 3D
marketing.
glasses.
It was 100% a marketing thing.
This next character, Pig Plummet, he's the villainous character that was tending to his farm, got rained on with radiation rain and caused his cells to merge with pigs. He now uses his massive size to crush his enemies with deadly belly flops. Both of you said real. Guys, I made up Pig Plummet.
Of course. You don't
say. I could be a Marvel writer, you guys. Are you kidding me? Pig Plummet.
But like, there's just so many obscure characters that could
Yes.
exist.
But guys, let's move on to the next one here. D-Man was a normal man who, despite being a promising athlete, chose to undergo augmentation from the Power Broker. Finding himself too strong for conventional sports, he entered the Ultimate Class Wrestling Federation. Justin, you said real. Kevin, you said real. Points around the board.
All right.
Of course, D-Man is a real character, and if you look up his costume, this guy looks like a Wolverine ripoff.
Yeah,
like,
he's totally a Wolverine ripoff.
So much. All right, guys. Next up, we've got the Badger, a Vietnam veteran who suffered from multiple personality disorder. He was on drugs. He saw a god that was a badger, thought he could be a badger that talks to animals. Justin, you said real. Kevin, you said fake. It's real. The Badger is a real character. He's just one of many personalities of this character, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Guys, let's talk about Cold Kitty. After witnessing the accidental death of her mother at the hands of her father, she decides to move to the South Pole to live out the rest of her days working at a local pet store, wearing a white cat suit by night, fighting domestic abuse. Pretty much just a white costume version of Catwoman. Justin, you said real. Kevin, you said real. I got you guys. I got you again. Let's go. Cold Kitty.
Wow.
We also have the Whizzer. As a child, when he was traveling with his father, he was bitten by a cobra. He got mongoose blood injected in him, and now he can run superhuman speeds. Justin, you said fake. Kevin, you said real. Kevin, it's real. The Whizzer is a real character. Kind of looks like a Flash kind of character. Obviously similar. But Justin, to your point, mongooses are not fast, so I don't know what the heck they're thinking with the mongoose blood. It's kind of weird. The Black Condor. Raised by an actual condor, he learned how to fly simply by flapping his arms. He failed several times until one day he was able to fly. Guys, this is like a classic Mowgli story because you both said fake. The Black Condor is a real character.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he's black though. I think he just wears he has black wings. I don't know. Guys, Kid Man, once as powerful as a bodybuilder, and this incredible athlete/doctor is abducted by aliens one fateful night. Upon waking up in his childhood room, he discovers that he now only possesses the strength of a small child. Justin, you said real. Kevin, you said fake. You called me on my bullshit, so you got it. It was fake. I made it up. And guys, while I was writing these, I had IMDb open, and I look over to my right, and I was trying to think of a character name, and guess who was right there? Nicole Kidman. So I came up with Kidman. But guys, I mean, listen, that's a great story.
Yo, that was very creative. All the ones that are fake that I nominated as real. You should take that as credit. Those should be comics. We should have them.
Right?
We should.
I need to become
produce
a writer
them as Geekcentric Comics. That would be hilarious.
I think that could work. Interesting. So look forward to that, listeners. Guys, Social Medusa. An archaeologist becomes popular on social media and decides to unearth an ancient gem hidden underneath deep underneath a Greek temple. While streaming for her millions of followers, she discovers a gem that transforms her into the snake-haired Medusa with the power to turn anyone who looks at her posts on social media to stone. Okay, Justin, you said this was real. Kevin, you said this was fake. This is fake. Social Medusa is not a real character.
Dude,
I made her up.
So that works.
Right?
That's a great story.
You could imagine her being like at the boom of like Instagram when that came out, right? Like that's when they would introduce her. But
and there is a Medusa, a Marvel character named Medusa.
Yes, there is, but there's not one named Social Medusa.
Yeah.
So, guys, Ice Cream, the mutant supervillain that has the ability to turn into any flavor of ice cream he wants. His biggest foes include the sun, hungry babies, and lactose-free diets. Both of you said fake. Guys, Ice Cream is real, dude. Ice Cream is a real character in the comic books. And I honestly don't know how, because that seems like the most useless. Like, I don't even know how he would get past one story. Maybe he was only in one issue or something, but Ice Cream, you guys.
Wow.
Guys, Man-Eater Lad right here. We've got Man-Eater Lad, who hails from the planet Bismol, where microbes have rendered all food on this planet inedible. In order to survive, the population evolves to ingest any type of matter, so his power is that he can basically eat anything that's inedible to us humans. Justin, you said real. Kevin, you said real. Matter-Eater Lad is real. Yes, he absolutely is real. And if you look up the pictures, it's just him eating through like a gate. Like you could you could imagine like he's hanging out with the other superheroes and like, we gotta get past this gate. Yeah. And he's like, all right, I'm starving. Oh, unreal. Guys, this next one, Peppermint Man. Originally a candy shop owner, Peppermint Man wears a red and white striped suit and stays cool by using his ability to lower the temperature of any given space using his minty, fresh breath. Justin, you said fake. Kevin, you said real. Peppermint Man is totally fake. I made that guy up. And I was like, I was worried because I was like,
all over it. I was like, Nate
right?
is totally like thinking of that, like that candy shop. Let's all go to the lobby.
So good. And like Peppermint Man, like I tried to give him like a smaller description to see if I could throw you guys off to be like, okay,
well, it worked.
Did he make it up? Did
you
he
had
not
me
make
on
it
the
up?
costume. I believed you because of the costume.
The costume, right? You could see him with his like top hat and his peppermint cane. Guys, this next one, Kid Eternity. He was a regular kid who died before his time. His life ended in a boating accident, but a comic mishap brought him back to life because he was supposed to live for 70 more years. And in way of compensation, he was sworn to do good, and he could summon any historical mythological being to help him with his task. Oh, and also he could make himself invisible. Justin, you said fake. Kevin, you said real. Kid Eternity is totally real. He's a real freaking character, and you could almost imagine that he was introduced, to comics to help kids like learn about historical figures or something like that, right?
There you go. Yeah. And invisibility. That one's throwing me off so much.
Maybe he likes to see how Benjamin Franklin reacts without him being involved. Who knows? Guys, Danny the Street is a thinking piece of pavement. An actual roadway with thoughts. Danny can integrate himself into the geography of any city without people noticing. He speaks through window signs of shops that line his body, and he's also a transvestite. Both of you said fake. No points for either of you guys, because Danny the Street is a real comic character. No. Yes, he is. He is a real comic book character, and I want to read all his comics right now. He sounds amazing.
So
Does he?
Yes, he's a real comic book character. All right, guys, this last one here, and then I'll get you guys your points. Conclusion. A depressed comic book writer attempts to end his own life when he's stopped by Loki and gifted a magical book that gives him the ability to end any ongoing story he sees in front of him, except his own. Both of you said real. Guys, conclusion is something that I made up.
Honestly, though, there's potential to that character.
That's what I'm
saying.
That one
Cool
sounded
idea.
interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could almost get like the meta of like you're reading the comic book and then he like is like talking to you and he's like, I'm going to end this comic book
Like,
right now.
I was getting very Deadpool breaking the fourth wall kind of vibes. Yeah.
Right? Let's go. Oh, man. Conclusion is fake. So, again, no points for you guys. All right, guys. You guys ready to hear your totals? Out of a total of 15 questions, fake or real, let's see here. Justin, you got 4 correct. 4 correct.
That makes sense.
You actually scored less than my mom. Because I had her do this test as well.
Nice.
And Kevin, you had 6, my guy.
All right.
You had 6. Kevin taking home the weird character, Marvel DC character, fake or real belt. What do you have to say for yourself?
Still not even 50% for the winner. That's brutal.
That's pretty brutal, right? Pretty brutal. I was just so happy with how many fake ones that I made up that you guys thought were real. Like almost all of them.
That was the impressive thing. Like not so much the ones that were actually real that were just so stupid it'd be hard to believe. It was the ones that you came up with that were like, oh, that would have been okay. Any of your fake ones were better than Danny the Street. I'm just going to put that out there.
I like Danny the Street. I like the idea that he talks through signs on his windows and doesn't actually talk with a voice or anything. But guys, that is it for our show. A little bit of a longer one tonight, but that is all right because we had so many phenomenal fake and real characters to talk about tonight on the show. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and if you did, make sure you subscribe to us wherever you like to listen to podcasts, because we are Geekcentric, and you can be too, which means you can also check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Geekcentric. You can follow us on Twitter at GeekcentricYT, and you can follow us on Instagram at WeAreGeekcentric. Also, if you want to hang out with me and play some different types of games, Nate Plays Games on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nate Plays Games. Every Sunday night, we're playing some Mario. We just rolled credits on Super Mario 64, which was very interesting, the way the credits end and everything. I'd never seen it before because I'd never finished the game. So I finally finished it. I don't know if I'm going to collect all of the stars. I might go back to it, but we did start Super Mario Galaxy on the stream last Sunday, and we are going to be doing some Pokemon streams, as well as at the end of next month, we're going to be doing some Pokemon Snap Sundays, which I'm super stoked to announce here for the first time, guys. So Pokemon Snap Sundays, you'll be able to send in your own snaps as we view them on stream live. Of course, we're going to be opening up some Pokemon packs in an upcoming stream as well. So join my Discord as well. We'll put the Discord in the links of the show notes. Justin, Kevin, thank you so much for joining me for today's Ragtag Team Up episode. And as we say, love ya.
Stay home safe, guys.
Peace.